For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. We've got a fun show for you today. We've got representatives from a little place called Riverbank Theater. They got some news about the name there too. It's coming up. And then Sue Daniels will be along with the police chief to talk about the St. Clair Lighted Santa Parade. They got some important information to share with you about that, even though it's a little early. Welcome back to the Focus program, Miss Kathy Vertin.
Good to be back.
And Aaron Smith. Nice to see
Paul.
you.
Thanks for having
You
us.
guys got some important information about Santa and Christmas and stuff too.
We do, of
So
course.
what's going on at Riverbank?
Riverbank, well, right now, Aaron's directing and starring.
Whoa, yeah,
Busy guy.
always.
The play that's coming up is called Sound
You might have
of
heard of it.
Music.
It's called The Sound
It's
of
a new
Music.
play, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brand new, fresh off the press.
Right.
It's a fantastic production. We had auditions back in the summer, I
Okay.
believe it was. We had so many people turn out for it that we decided to extend the run and double cast the entire show.
Double
pretty much.
cast?
Pretty much, yes. All of the lead characters, all of the children have been double cast. So I'm sharing the role of Captain Von Trapp with Jonathan Meldrum.
Oh,
who-
wonderful. Jonathan's great.
Yes, he's
very
one of our board members, and he's doing a great job. We're having a blast working together. We have two great Marias. One is from Chicago, Sophie Smeckens, and one is from Marysville, just graduated high school last year, Courtney Johnson. Beautiful voices, great actresses.
How
Lots
big
of
are the
people.
casts?
Well,
Round figures.
I don't know that I have a final count, but I think if you were to do all the characters that are in the script, it's like 30.
Wow.
So when you have doubles, it's about maybe 42 people that we're working with. You know,
Because you've got soldiers, you've got
Yes.
townspeople, you've got
Nuns.
nuns,
lots
yes.
of nuns.
There's a lot of nuns, yes, and they sing beautifully. It's worth coming to see the show just to hear the nuns sing. So fantastic. So
Do
we're
they
very
hear
excited
confessions
about it.
too?
I'm sure they would. We have a vault. You could go in the vault and hear the confessions.
When are the dates?
We open October 28th,
Oh, okay.
and we run through December 22nd.
Oh, okay.
32
okay.
performances. Each group gets 16, and it kind of works out that the fathers and the children are all cast together. They kind of move together as a unit, and everybody else kind of floats in and out. So it makes it really, for the kids that are in the show, it's a very professional experience because this is what happens. You have swings and understudies, and people
Yep,
come in,
yep,
and you're working
yep.
with a different Maria that day or a different Reverend Mother that day, and it's a good training ground for them.
Did a lot of the young students, the young kids, come from your summer camps?
You better believe it.
Really?
And that's not a prerequisite to get cast in one of our shows, but it certainly helps because they have the professional training that they
Yep.
need in order to stand up and be with the adults. So they're fantastic.
Cool.
A lot of them have
Really
come up
cool.
since 5th grade on up. Now they're in high school or whatever, and they're fantastic.
Wonderful.
Come see
It's
them.
fun to actually
Yeah.
see the little ones that we had in the summer. Remember we did
did the
Jungle,
Jungle Book, yeah.
And they were so little.
Yes.
And now I'm like,
5th
holy
grade.
cow, look at
Hi,
them.
how are you?
Now they're-
Nice to see you
How
again.
is it that you're aging, but I'm not?
That's right.
I see what you did there, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Same
yeah.
here. Yeah.
Well, we see that around here too. We got
Yeah.
4 or 5, 6 years, and it's wonderful to
I
see
know,
them grow.
it is.
Yes.
It's good.
Really good to see them.
It is.
All right, so tickets are available.
They are.
October
Riverbanktheater.com.
28th through the end of December.
That's correct.
Just really cool. That's really cool.
And you can come twice and see both groups.
There you go.
There you
There you
go.
go. There you go. But you also have, and I don't know if they've thrown the slide up yet of the Sound of Music, but you've got some other performances before then. What are you got a comedy thing?
We
coming?
do a comedy night on October 22nd featuring Andy Beningo. He's fantastic, very family friendly, very
yeah, he's
Kathy
genius.
can speak to this too, but he's very, very funny. And
Okay.
so we've added that special event next Saturday night, October 22nd. And then we have a Celtic Christmas coming November 26th. That's the Thanksgiving weekend.
That's something different, isn't it? Celtic Christmas?
Celtic
You've not
Christmas.
had that- you've
We
not
haven't
had
had
that
them
before.
They
before.
reached out to us and
They did. They reached out to us, and so
Yeah.
we said, sure.
Yeah.
They're very, very good. So come see that too.
They look like a very
matinee
interesting
performance.
And I actually
Yes.
think, because didn't Laura Scaccia from Mariner say that they had performed at her place?
Oh,
Yes.
So
Okay.
it maybe people have already seen them
yeah,
there and might come back again
Might
because
come
you
and
know,
see this. This
the
is
Mariner brings in some good stuff too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's Christmas themed. So
right.
very, very.
Well,
fun
you've had
music.
over the years, you've had some wonderful Christmas pageants and shows and stuff. It's just been, it's always a treat to go to the Riverbank at that time of year.
Well, thank you very much.
Well,
Sound of
it's
Music
true.
isn't really a Christmas show, but it has my favorite things and
Yeah, it's-
Snow on
snow-covered
the mountains.
mountains and
Yeah, yeah.
Edelweiss and
Edelweiss.
yeah, it feels Christmassy.
Okay.
It's cozy. It's very, very
Well, maybe we'll have you
appropriate
back.
for families.
Maybe we'll have
So,
you back during the season and before Christmas. And one thing, there is a slide, and I don't know if the guys have it, but while we're talking about Christmas and things, you are selling tickets, season tickets.
They're going to start. We're finalizing the season. There's always one show that we have licensing issues. You know, can't get the license or
Yeah.
something. So we have one of those, and we're working that out. And we hope by the time the show goes up, Sound of Music goes up, that we'll have our season ticket lineup set.
And
we're
people-
factoring in the new venue.
Good. Oh,
so
good.
that's part of the season.
Well, my point being, it's Christmas and maybe to be a good gift.
It'd
Absolutely.
be a wonderful gift.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that. And gift certificates are always a good gift as well. So yeah, that would be a
we
great
hear all the time, why do we spend $150 to go to the Fox Theater and sit way far away when we can come to the Riverbank and see the same quality production for less money? And it's right here in your backyard.
For that matter, there's a little known fact. In 2019, and it was right before COVID, but we were actually voted the best place to see live theater
Yes.
Yeah.
in Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
And that was by Detroit Metro Times.
Yes.
Put that out. And
Yeah.
and we don't even know who nominated us.
Right.
We don't know how it came
Right.
to be, but we were
Well, I
surprised.
remember seeing
We're happy.
Man of La Mancha in the last row of the Fox Theater main floor. They were about that big.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
But we had
place.
cheap seats.
And you know, I know with the new venue, we've got 350 seats planned, but I just walked it because the concrete's poured now for the seating. And I stood in the back row there and thought, you're every bit as close, just
Yeah.
because of the way that
Yeah.
we did the seating and
Yeah.
the configuration. So you're still going to have a very intimate experience there as well.
Speaking of that, let's
Yeah.
change hats here and talk about Boardwalk Theater.
Yes, and that's kind of, we started with our little snug, and then we added the Riverbank because it was the old bank
Yeah.
building in Marine City. And when we broke ground on this, we thought, what are we going to name this? And we went out and asked the community, and the community named it.
Yeah.
And they came up with the Boardwalk Theater. And
Very
I think that's
appropriate.
fabulous
Yeah.
for St. Clair. So now we're kind of, wrestling with branding because our intent is to keep all three venues
Yep.
open. That's always been the goal, is
Yeah.
to grow the arts
Right.
and have live productions available for any time of the year. When you come into Marine City or St. Clair, there's going to be something for you to see. And so now we're thinking it's Riverbank Productions,
I like it.
and we'll have the Snug, the Bank, and the Boardwalk.
Yep.
And those are the three venues.
Yep.
So
That's
we're
wonderful.
We're planning to use them all.
If Ben will throw those pictures up of the finished building and then the construction as it's coming along, we'll enjoy those now.
The plan and the
there's-
progress.
There
That's the
is
plan.
That's the finished building.
Yeah.
And the walls are starting. Okay, some of the walls have started. This is a side
Yes.
view, right? Or
We
is this
have
that's
all-
the back. I think that's the back.
This is
No,
the
that, yeah,
main
'cause there's
entrance.
the-
That's the main entrance side.
Yeah.
You're looking at
okay.
the,
And the next picture
and you can
is right from
that's
the stage.
inside, from
Isn't
the
that
stage.
something? You could see the rise there, and that's the pit, the music pit, in the underneath
the
in
orchestra
in
pit.
the very front of the picture there.
I stood on that stage today and bellowed out a song so I could be the first one to perform.
There you go. As you should.
The
Congratulations.
workers thought I was nuts,
No, no.
Oh, no.
but we've
They're building a
got
theater. They
all
know.
of the steel is up. The brick is all done. There's roofing.
Yep.
The sub of the roofing is up. The siding is in, so that's the next thing to go on. The concrete is poured, and this will be closed in for
Pretty soon.
the winter so that we can start working on the interesting stuff, which is the seating and
Yeah.
the carpet and all the pretty
Yeah.
stuff. And we're at about 2.7 million raised of the 3.2 estimated to complete it. So my challenge now is they're building it faster than I'm raising the money, so I'm like in mode, getting out there. But we've had some really good participation from the community, from our theater patrons, from the businesses in the area. It's really been heartwarming to see how much people want this and how much they're willing to support it. Right now we're going to break with the chair program pretty soon. So anyone who wants to adopt a chair, that's something that once we get the final seating chart, you saw that the concrete's poured. So now they're doing the final seating chart, and then we'll make that available and say,
that's a great idea.
Buy your seat.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with that campaign, and that will help with the funding. I do want to clarify, I think Tom and I launched the Snug in 2013, and then 2014, Riverbank Theater, and Aaron came on full time and started the Riverbank Performing Arts Academy. Those 3 years, we funded the operation, but when it became self-funding, which was pretty fast for it to become self-funding in 3 years, then we organized a board of directors and assembled a nonprofit organization. So some people say I'm the owner. I'm not the owner.
Okay.
I'm the founder, but not the owner.
Okay.
It's owned by...
That's good to clarify.
Yeah, it's a nonprofit with a great board of directors. We've had really good, strong input from our board. And so we can't take the credit for, this is the 10th year, but there's been a lot
It's amazing
of
that
good
10
advice.
years went by like that.
Mm-hmm. It went by really fast.
Yeah.
So, as a nonprofit, this is part of the growth of the organization. And this is, in our mind, how it lives well beyond the Vertins. Now it's an entity in and of itself.
Correct.
It will own this new venue outright. The Riverbank, the nonprofit, purchased the parcel and is building this venue. So it kind of warms my heart because it will be here in perpetuity, even when I'm not.
And the theaters, all three of them have had all sorts of venues, or will have all sorts of venues with the new one. You've had mysteries, you've had musicals, you've had comedy,
Absolutely.
You've had dramas. The one that just finished
On Golden Pond.
Golden Pond was a great, and you had great numbers and great people there. So
yeah, we had to extend. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't have to, but luckily we were able to extend it, and the cast was able to keep performing.
Yeah.
So as long as the audience is coming, that's the goal, and that's why it's so important to have three distinct venues. Is if a show is really performing well, and the audience is coming, why would we stop after we've spent the money on a set, on costumes, on licensing, and why wouldn't we continue the production until the audience, we've exhausted our audience?
I think people are amazed when they hear the number that you normally have 28,000, 30,000 people a year.
It was 22,000 in 2019 that came through, and then of course COVID, and we're rebuilding, and we are in a rebuilding phase. So I tell everyone, help us out, spread the word, bring a friend, bring a friend to the production, introduce somebody new to the theater. I just was talking to people who are very involved in the cultural arts, and they said throughout the whole United States we're seeing a 20 to 40% dip in attendance.
Correct.
And some of it is just, you got out of the habit.
Yeah.
We used to say every Friday night, what do you want to do tonight? It's the weekend, what are we doing on the weekend? And I think people, when you're told you're staying home on the weekend is what you're going to do, you get into that. And I think getting people back out, we're saying, it's time to start living again. We have to get back out there. So.
Well, it's exciting. Exciting time for you. And exciting for a young man over here with 2 casts to run.
I know!
The Sound of Music.
It was crazy, their schedule.
And you know what? He hasn't got any gray hair yet.
There it is.
We're working on it.
Oh, okay. All right. Give us the dates again for Sound of Music.
Opens October 28th and runs through December 22nd.
Not a bad seat in the house.
No. Not a bad seat.
You can see it twice. You'll see a different show.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Similar songs, but a different.
Yeah.
Have we missed anything?
I think we
so.
covered
I just want to thank you. You've been doing this for a long time, and you keep, patting us on the back for what we do, and we're grateful for what you
Thank
do
you.
because
Thank
you are a lot of the reason we had 22,000 patrons.
no,
because
no,
you got
I
us up here to
appreciate that.
introduce
Getting the
the
word
next
out.
thing.
I remember you and I over in the other building back in when you were still with the St. Clair Theater Guild.
Yes.
A long time ago.
Yes.
That's
But
right.
I did the Baroness in
She
Sound
played
of
the
Music.
Baroness.
That's right, that's right.
When you see Sue Daniels, tell her she's the one who got me all excited about theater again after many years
That's
of
right.
catering to a career instead.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Stay in Florida. We love those pictures that you send of the building.
We'll keep the updates coming.
Yeah, please do. We'll be back with that aforementioned Sue Daniels, and she's going to be here to talk about the St. Clair Lighted Santa Parade coming up in November. We'll be right back. Ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas. Look at that. We've got some representatives from the North Pole with us today. Sue Daniels, welcome back to the Focus Set. You are representing the St. Clair Lighted Santa Parade. Wow, is that time of year already?
It's that time of year. Yes, it is.
Well, when is the parade this year?
It is Friday, November 18th, 6 p.m.
Okay, downtown St. Clair.
Downtown St. Clair, and then we have the tree lighting after that.
And the tree lighting is going to be spectacular this year because it's a
Brand
brand
new
new
tree.
tree.
Yep.
What happened to last year's tree?
It kind of had a little fight with a windstorm and almost went in the river.
Chief Raker, you're here to assist Miss Daniels,
Yes, I am.
and you look just as intelligent and smart as I do with these wonderful hats.
Yes, they come in handy.
Yes.
on. We'll do anything, won't we, you and
Yes, I'm here. We've had a meeting because last year's Santa Parade, for some reason, the crowd crowded the parade, and it made it very hard for the band and the
Yep.
floats to get through. And luckily, nobody was hurt. So,
I? Okay, you've got some real concerns,
Right.
real
Yes,
safety
We
concerns.
do.
so hopefully this year we've got some changes. We're gonna have some barricades up because I don't have 100 policemen to keep people back, and hopefully parents will be parents and keep their kids back, and the parade will go smooth. And once again,
One of the issues is the throwing of candy.
yeah, that becomes an issue because if they don't throw it far enough, then the kids come out, and then because this kid came out, another kid comes out, or this adult comes out, and then another adult can't see. So as time goes, they just keep creeping into the street.
The St. Clair High School Homecoming Parade, you had the whole road closed. Now for the Santa Parade, you have the whole road
We're gonna close
Yes.
it all.
too.
Actually, I'm not going to allow parking that day in front of the plaza or across the street from the plaza.
Good
Just
idea.
to give us more
And then
more
you'll
room
have
for
some-
people.
Have some barricades up like they have in the middle of the plaza there.
Yep, just to give people a vocal point of where they can't go past.
Well, it's a family thing. It's a great parade. The one in Marine City is a great parade. It's such family stuff, and it's a great time to celebrate and enjoy. And we don't want to have any problems.
Don't want anybody to get hurt. That's the goal.
Sue, it's really early. It's the end of October when we're recording this. Normally, how many units do you have? Round figure.
We have been up to as many as 40.
40 units.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the letters have already gone out to the past participants and to all the businesses. And for anyone else that is interested, we welcome anybody. It doesn't have to be people from St. Clair. It can be from Port Huron, Elginak, and Baltimore. If they want to bring up a unit, that's fine. They can either go to the city website and download the application, or they can pick it up here at City Hall.
Okay. Is there an entry fee?
No, it's a free parade.
Okay. Would you like some volunteers to help? Would you like some people to write checks to you? Tell us
Oh, it
what
would be wonderful if some people wrote some checks. Yes, financial backing is always great. Cargill Salt is already great. They've already chipped in, and I've had a few other businesses that it's starting to come in now.
Well, you have a major expense because you have to coif our hairs for the chief
That's,
and I
that's
every
right.
year.
They have to get you guys all set up, and that's a major expense. So we do have the reindeer again this year.
Oh, good.
That will be at the center court, live reindeer, and we're just hoping that anybody and everybody just get a vehicle or a wagon or anything, create a theme and light it up. We want to stress that it's a lighted parade.
Okay.
Light them up.
Well, there's so much wonderful wireless lights now.
Yep.
That you really can, without much work, without much expense, light a parade or a vehicle or whatever pretty easily and make it look pretty spectacular.
Right. And every unit has to have a banner. We require that. And if you're going to pass out trinkets or candy, you have to have walkers on either side of your unit. And they can either pass it out or throw it back toward the grass or
The
behind, so that if the kids are going to run after it, it would be not
Running
into
the
the
other way.
street. That's
Okay.
right.
All right, Chief, why don't you at that point repeat what your concerns are? And
It's all about safety. We just don't, this being a lighted parade, it's at nighttime. It's one thing when you're driving a vehicle, pulling a float or something in the daytime, but at nighttime it just makes it that much harder
Yeah.
for them. And when people start coming off the curb, someone can get hurt. So we just want to make sure they stay behind the line.
you had a couple close calls last year, if I
Yes.
remember correctly, and
We had some drivers complain,
Yeah.
yes.
so
So we'll be ready, but we need the parents to
Help us out.
tell the little ones to stay back and
okay.
you know.
Well, the kids want to see Santa, and they want to see Santa on
Well, they'll
Christmas
get to
Day,
see him.
so-
They'll get to see him. He's going to be here in all his glory. Yep.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job of saying hello to everybody last year, as he always does. So.
And we will have the meet and greet over, the Chamber of Commerce and the mall is sponsoring it, and the meet and greet will be over at the mall after the parade.
The date is Friday, November the 18th, 6 p.m. is the time, and you're encouraging everybody to come and bring their families. And
Right,
Just
and
be
if they
safe.
want to participate and they have any questions, they can call my number. And it's 810-329-4498.
4498,
98. Yep,
329-4498, and Santa's helper will answer.
that's right. Answer any
And
question you
It'll
have.
be 65 degrees and beautiful.
Yes,
Okay,
it will.
all right. Well, over the years, we've had all sorts of...
We've had it all.
We've had it all. I've got a piece of green here, which is a normal color for Santa Claus in winter, but this one's a little different. This is the sample of the election ballot, which is coming up real shortly, and just wanted to point it out to you that there's two sides to it. The front side has all of the state offices and the boards of universities and things along those lines. The back side has the three proposals that are on the ballot and all of the local things. So this is what your ballot will look like, and make sure that you get ready to vote on November the 8th. That's about it for this edition of the Santa Claus edition of the Focus program. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. Thanks very much for tuning in. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.